What's up, guys? Kobe Jack Reacts. We back again with another video. Marlon Wayans' mind-blowing and Tupac Biggie stories. Hey man, it's gonna be a good one. Tupac is one of my favorite artists, probably the favorite artist. And we're gonna be reacting to somebody who was close to him and knew about his life. Let's get it.
Of the realm with Tupac.
Yeah, my guy.
You had a very, very close relationship with Pac.
That's my man. That's my guy. That was he was. What happened was, I knew Pac for a while because, like, okay, Omar was my best friend. Is my best friend. Omar Epps, and him and my other best friend Mitchell were doing Juice.
Okay.
With Tupac.
Okay.
So
Juice is one of the greatest hood movies ever. Juice is one of those movies where Tupac, if y'all ain't never seen that movie, that scene where he was in the locker, he was like, "What's up? I've been trying to get at you. What's happening?" Man, that boy can act, man. He can act.
So I was come up from Howard to come to the set to hang out with them. So I met Pac that way.
Okay.
Then, when I moved to LA, me and Jada Pinkett became great friends.
Okay.
Jada Pinkett and Tupac went to the same school together. Right. So we had like this clique of performing arts high school ghetto kids. And then I got the role of Boogaloo in Above the Rim.
Right.
And I got to work with Pac. And we hung out like on set. We cracked up, we laughed the whole time. This man would go work all day, smoke his weed. You know, he always high.
Yeah.
That trailer, we shared a trailer together. I swear, I had a
You got a contact?
Contact the whole time. It felt like I was living in a blunt. Like that's so much smoke.
You know, it's ironic in Scary Movie. One of those scary movies, they had a scene where Marlon was getting rolled up and smoked by a weed tree, a weed plant. That is so funny how he worded that joke.
And so we used to hang out, and then we laughed a lot together. We used to walk around the streets of New York. We laughed a lot because Pac was silly. Right. Pac was just like he was a performing arts high school kid that of the ghetto.
I think Tupac was a guy that he was a genuine nice guy, but he was stuck on stage. He was stuck on that gangster persona, and he didn't know how to get out of it. He thought that's who he was, stuck on stage, and that's it. Ultimately, that's how he met his demise.
Oh, I'm the same way. I grew up in the projects.
Right.
Like I'm a project Negro.
Right.
All this Hollywood stuff, that's not what I know.
Right. You didn't come from that.
16 years of my life raised in the institution, pretty much.
Right.
So we all got along. Me, him, Omar, and it was like when we all got together, we can all laugh like kids. All the pressure, all the gangster, we just all laugh. We hang out. You know, and Pac, he always gonna be his thug self. He was always had a bishop in him, but he was such a multifaceted dude. And if you watch our interviews, we have old interviews, I used to make him laugh all the time. And he'd be silly with me. And, you know, and it's crazy. I remember I saw Pac was performing. He invited me down to Glam Slam.
Okay.
And he was performing with Biggie. There's a picture with Tupac and Biggie. The only picture I think of them two together. And if you look in the corner, I'm sitting in the background twisting my hair. Now the irony is, I saw Tupac in Vegas at the Luxor 20 minutes before he got shot.
Ooh. Wow.
We saw him. I seen Suge and all these cars and thugs and reds, and I was like, I turned white. I was like, we shouldn't go over there.
Right.
You can just wave for me. Hi, Pac. Omar's like, nah, we gotta go say what's up, pay our respects. And Pac was a huge star at this time. And I was like, you sure? This sure looks like a lot of trouble over there. And so I go over there, give him a hug, we all talk, kick it for 5 minutes, and the BMW pulls up.
Man.
And me, Omar, and Mitchell, we get in a cab. And we pull off. And I'll never forget the look on Tupac's face as we pulled off. He was kind of just like looking at us like.
Maybe I should get in the car with you?
Man,
He looked like.
I wish I could be in that car with y'all, man.
Man, I miss that freedom. I miss that fun. And he was just in this chaos. There was something, a part of him that wished that it was like the innocence. He could just go with the innocence.
Right.
And go with the. And so we left. And then 20 minutes later, we heard he got shot.
Wow.
And then I saw Biggie 20 minutes before he got shot. We're leaving a party, we're going down the escalator, or we're going up the escalator. And he was like, or down, he was like, yo, I love your family. I love y'all. Y'all make me laugh, bro. All the stuff you do, my buddy. He was just bigging us up. He had I forgot what he had on, maybe a coochie sweater or whatever. And he was,
coochie.
You know, we
say a coochie sweater.
Talking, he was like, I love you, dap me up, good seeing you, continue success, blah, blah, blah. And I know, you know, Puff since college. Like, I know these brothers. I grew up in Hollywood. So, we're leaving the party. I see him again, dap him up. My brother Keenan's in the party with me. He gets in his car. He has a drop top 500 Mercedes SL. I'm in my Range Rover, and we hear pop, pop, pop. Keenan's like, yo, go. And I remember his head as he went over the speed bump, and he pulled off, I went to go eat at Jerry's Deli. I'm friends with Tracy Lee, who was a rapper, and we was all eating over there, and we found out Big got shot. Went to the hospital. Saw Puff and all them outside, or Mark Pitts, all those guys I knew, crying, and
wow.
And I saw Biggie 20 before he got shot.
Wow.
So
he saw the two most influential artists, rap artists, before they died. 20 minutes before they died. That's insane, bro. Wow.
20 minutes after this interview, nigga, you may get shot.
I ain't going nowhere.
Hey, Shannon didn't like that joke, bro. He like, hell nah.
I ain't going nowhere. They got no gun.
You 55 cent.
the Wayans Brothers show.
Yeah.
How do you guys get that picked up?
Well, Sean did a showcase for Warner Brothers and all these different places. He had a showcase at the Laugh Factory, and Warner Brothers wanted to sign him to a deal.
Okay.
So he goes to have the meeting, and I just had.
We built a 7-figure business as a 2-person agency, and I wish we had Honeybook when we started 10 years ago.
Businesses had more money come out. They said, what do you want to do? He goes, I always want to do a show with my brother Marlon. Right? And me and him was already working on the Wayans Brothers. And he was like, oh, Marlon for more money? And let me come. For the two of you? Great.
Huh.
And so we started developing the show. It was David Lee and Leslie Simon. And we sat there and we created the show together. And then we got to NBC. We got to the table read. And they didn't want John Witherspoon.
What?
They didn't want him. They
didn't want Pops. Bang, 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 bang.
He was too ghetto. They thought that John was too country, that he was too Detroit. You know that Detroit player, brother. Right. John has a very distinct personality,
exactly.
Bro. He was very John the ghetto. They didn't want him as our father.
They didn't want that, man. They didn't want that corporate square in a box type of black guy. They didn't want that old. They didn't want that old school.
Me and Sean was like, we don't want no other father, and they was like, either you replace the father, or you don't get on our air. And we.
Who you talking to?
Said we're not replacing the father. And so NBC didn't pick us up.
Right.
So then we're.
Hey, sometimes, man, you have to stand your ground as a man and then deal with the consequences afterwards. You can't just let people dictate how you move, especially when it's your vision, it's just your dream, it's your goal, it's your project. Sometimes you just gotta put your foot down and say, no, it ain't going down like that, and stand on it. Whatever happens, happens.
Nowhere. And then WB is being created, and they need a flagship show. And we did this pilot called Wayans Brothers, and they was like,
we'll take it.
We'll take it.
Right.
So me and Sean with John, we said, you gotta take John Witherspoon, bet. And from there, the Wayans Brothers.
You do.
Sometimes when you stand your ground, it all works out. Sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes, hey, you get railroaded and you just fall by the wayside, but you can't give up. You got to stand your ground, stand back up, find a solution to your problem. Don't give up. That's it.
You realize to be on network television, and the only thing that you had to do in order to get on network television was to change a character. You know how many people would have changed that one character?
Yeah. But now,
And this guy's right here. He's real for that, man. He's real. The more I listen to Marlon Wayans, the more I like him. The more I thought he was just a goofball. You know, he portrays. He's every movie or every show that he's in, he's the funny guy. But in this interview, they showed me a different side of him, a different light. Where this is a very serious man with some foresight in his life, very disciplined man. He doesn't take life as a joke at all. To be honest with you, he might be funny, but he's not a joke, and I like that about him.
we have a loyalty and we have instincts, and you got to trust your instincts. Without John Witherspoon, Wayans brothers, me and Sean is always going to be funny, but you need a triangle offense.
You need that dad.
You need that triangle offense. That every time we threw John the ball, we knew that was
Curry.
We knew it.
Ooh, that's cold, man. That's cold.
Or Clay, we knew it every time, John, and we had the time of our lives. We laughed so much.
Hey, man, the Wayans Brothers show was a good show back in the day. I used to watch that before school. It was just a just a little background noise. It put the house in a good mood for some reason. It was just a positive show, and it created a positive atmosphere at home. This was a good interview. We're gonna watch the next one. Marlon had Dave Chappelle's role in Eddie Murphy's Nutty Professor. We're gonna watch that one next.